Hi guys, today we're going to be looking at adding polynomials. So let's go ahead and take a look. So first we need to know some vocabulary words. The first vocabulary word that we need to know is a polynomial. A polynomial is an algebraic expression. Oops. And then we also need to know that polynomials are classified by the number of terms, which in this case is the degree, or what's the biggest exponent that is there. So let's go ahead and write, let's define what a term is. So here we would have a term is a number, a variable, or the product of a number and variables. So for example, here's some terms. We have 3, we have a, 2b, 4x squared. All of these are examples of terms. Please make sure you write that down in your in your notes, all these highlighted definitions. And then we also have here an algebraic expression. An algebraic expression is that has only one term, and this is actually called a monomial. Then we have where you have one or more terms. Mono means one, bino means two, so this is called a binomial. And the terms in a polynomial are separated by an addition or subtraction symbol. Oh, I'm sorry, this should be called a polynomial. A polynomial is where it has more than one monomial, I'm sorry. Polynomial. Okay, so then we also have, so that's an important vocab word, polynomial, one or more terms, and it's an expression. And then the terms in a polynomial are separated by addition or subtraction symbol. So an example would be 2x plus 5. This is an example of a polynomial. 2x would be a monomial. 5 by itself would be a monomial. Since we have an adding or subtracting or some sort of operation going on here of adding or subtracting, then it's called a polynomial. Let's go ahead and take a look. We also have a polynomial with two terms, and that is called a binomial, which means having two. And here's an example. We have two terms, so this would be a binomial. Then we also have one with three terms, and that is called a trinomial. So bi means two, and so three terms is a trinomial, binomial is two terms. So here we're going to write a trinomial. And here's an example where you have three terms. 3ab is one term, 4cd is another term, and 8ef is another term. So you have a total of 3 terms. Okay, so now we got all that vocab out of the way. Let's see, we have a couple things that we need to talk about. So now it says, therefore, we call algebraic expressions monomials, binomials, trinomials, or bigger than that, we just say polynomials, having more than one term. Now, another super important word is degree. That's the exponent, the highest exponent that you find in any of those terms. So the degree of the term is the sum of the exponents in each variable. So you're going to add the sum of the exponents in each variable. So if we look at, let's do an example. For example, here it says xy squared z has a degree of 4. Why? Because you have a 1 here, you have a 2, and you have a 1. So 1 plus 2 plus 1 gives you a degree of 4. Now, to find the degree of the polynomial, it says find the degree of each term and take the highest value. So this is of a monomial. In a monomial, we add the exponents and we get the degree of that monomial. To get the degree of a polynomial, we look for the highest value. So here we have 3 terms. So this is a polynomial. I'm going to look to see which one has the highest exponent. 5 is the highest exponent. So it says here the first term, it has a degree of 2, the second term has a degree of 5, and the third term has a degree of 1. So the highest degree in this case of the polynomial is 5. So that would be the degree of this polynomial. Okay. Now let's write this polynomial in standard form, which is basically rewriting the whole thing from the largest degree to the smallest degree. So we go from largest to smallest, and this would be the correct form of writing it. We rewrite it, we put this first term here, we put the second one, since it has a degree of 2, second, and then the one with the smallest degree, which is the last one, goes in the very end. And let's actually do an example. So here we need to classify what kind of polynomials we have. Okay, so here we have just one term. So this is a monomial. The degree, there's an imaginary 1 right there, so we can go ahead and write that there's a 1. So this is a monomial with a degree of 1. Here we have 2, so this is a binomial, and the highest degree in this case would be 2 because that's the one that has the most. Oh no, actually 3 because this is 1, 1, 1. So that this would have a degree of 3. So the degree of this is 3. Then here we have a polynomial, and the degree would be highest one, so in this case would be 7 would be the highest degree. This one has 1, 2, 3 terms, so it's called a trinomial. This has a degree of 4 plus 2 plus 1, that's 7. This has a degree of 6 and a degree of 5. So the highest degree in this case is 7. Okay, so the main thing here that we want to learn is how do we add polynomials. And we've already talked about combining like terms, which is getting things that are part of the same family together and joining them. So here we have some like terms. They have to have the same variables and also have to have the same exponents. So for example here, 2x cubed, negative 6x cubed, and 8x cubed. Since they all have x cubed, these are part of the same family, and we could combine these if needed. So let's go ahead and look in example 2. We're going to go ahead and add these two trinomials, and so we have 9f plus 5f minus 2 plus f squared minus 4f minus 5. I'm going to go ahead and just shade in which ones have our like terms. So I have 5f and I have minus 4f, and then I have a negative 2 and I have a negative 5. Those don't have last names, so those would go together. And then I have this f squared and this 9f squared. Those are part of the same family, and since we're adding, I'm just going to take the sign of what's in front. Remember that there's an imaginary 1 right here. So it's basically we're adding, there's imaginary 1 here, so it's just adding straight across. So let's go ahead and see what that would look like. So the first one they got is going to be, so let's write our 9f squared plus f squared, my blues together. Now let's go ahead and now get our pinks. So my pinks was 5f and negative 4f. So I'm going to put 5f and then it's going to be minus 4f. And then I'm going to take the sign, so this is, sorry, wrong one. I'm going to take the sign in front, so this is going to be minus 2, minus 5. So this is going to be minus 2, minus 5. So we put our like terms together. Now let's actually add them. 9f squared plus f squared is 10f squared. And 5f minus 4f gives you just f. And then negative 2 minus 5, that gives you negative 7. So now that we've added our like terms, we are done. Our final answer is 10f squared plus f minus 7, because I can't simplify this anymore. Now because it was, sorry, I should have written, this should be plus. So it's just minus 7. Since it's negative 2 minus 7, that's a negative 7, so it's a minus 7. This is going to be our final answer for this one. And that's it, guys.